It's Easter Sunday, April 10th, 2023. See where you think we're going with that, but let's have a look outside, huh? Look at that blue, 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 blue sky. I guess you can kind of see an airplane up there. Oh, there's an airplane flying up over there. Yep, let's see where we can see the sun. Whoo-hoo, through the trees, yes. A very nice day, probably 60, very little wind, sunshine, blue sky. Kids are over playing outside for Easter. Very nice. And to burn off some of that Easter food, we're going to take a little walk on the trail. Alright, we put this one in yesterday, and we made it out of 1x6 cedar decking boards. And what we can see is that it has sunk into the mud, not allowing very much clearance. So we're going to try to put a second 1x6 underneath to raise it up to allow more room since it's sunk in. We'll probably have to make a small swale, but we're going to try it and see. Alright, so was this a good idea of putting double 1x6s underneath, making it 2 inches high? Well, this is kind of an issue, is the mowing deck may hit this big lip here, although the tires will be coming up this, so the tires will be up higher, which might lift the mowing deck up enough to miss it. But then this is on the side, maybe we can tell, is not on the ground. It's up 2 inches, so a heavy load over that could break that board, although it bends a lot. All right, so we'll have to see. Yeah, I don't know. And this side here, now this side's pretty good, but this side over here sinks down. You can hear it and see it. So I think if we do a swale underneath, we got to rebuild this up with a whole bunch more dirt to support it. All right, well, we brought another one, and we're going to put it right there. Let's see how that goes. All right, for comparison, this is the one that has two 1x6s decking. And you can see it's up pretty good. This one just has the problem that this one corner sinks down. We have to build that out. Let's have a look. This is the next one. This is 1 inch. I think 1x10s we put them on, just some rough cut wood. Let's have a look. So, good here, but you can see over here, this side is already sinking down into the muck already. So we either have to put a deep swale underneath, which won't do good because we only have like an inch change in elevation here, or we're going to have to raise this up. Or my thought was I'd put a small 1 inch swale underneath the excavate that I dig out. I'm going to put over here, raise under these sides and level it out a bit for the planks to come up without such a steep transition. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait on this one. Let's have a look down here. Here's our next one. So we're going to put another one right here. And then that brings us right to this point where we're going to start to transition over to there. Here are the spring peepers. There's only a few of them now. They're peeping like crazy. But right over in here is a little shallow pond. There's a woodpecker. Okay, so we need like at least two more of those little mini swale bridges. We're going to start putting some flats down. So these pieces here are from another project, and they're kind of designed a special way. And I'll show you what it's supposed to be. Hang on. So what the intent was that it'd be stepped and like 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch. But this tire of the tractor would come up, and then we'd be able to ride on top of a 1.5 or 2 inch board across a small culvert or whatever to get up and over. But the tractor tire won't go up. If it hits a 1.5 or 2 inch board like this, it'll just get stuck, at least the front wheel of the tractor, small tractor. So we need to have it stepped so that the wheel will walk right up. So, but I don't have a need for that right now, but these other ones were made similar with a 1 inch, so it would be a stepped, so the wheel would come up, up, up. But I don't really have a current need for all these, so I think I'm going to repurpose these for the 2 more little mini swale bridges there. Yeah, so it's just sitting here. I think it wants to get used. It doesn't like this being stagnant. It wants to be part of a project somewhere. So I think we're going to repurpose this, make 2 more, put them on a trail. And over in this pile, these are logs that were sawn, ash trees we took down. Was it like 12 ash trees? Yard, the 2 neighbors' yards, 3-4 years ago now. And I took them to a friend who had a big sawmill, and we sawed them. And the intent was to make some planks out of them, which they're underneath there. So they're all ash, 2 inch thick, heavy. But these scraps, the intent was like you really can't make too much of a plank out of this. But you know, if all we need for our flats is 20 inches, right? So 20 inches, we can use quite a bit of this stack of wood, and that's what it was slated for, to make those 20-inch long flats that go in between the 6-inch planks to make the boardwalk. So we'll get a couple more of those put together. We'll cut some flats, and we have a bunch of planks that we cut from the sawmill that's ready to go. I don't know what order all that happens in, but that's the plan. And it's supposed to be sunny and dry for the next few days, so hopefully we can get some of this out there and in place before it rains more. Not to spoil any surprises, but let's look what's underneath here. This is cedar boards from my brother redid his shed. These are all cedar planking from his shed, so we have cutoffs of different lengths. They're 1 inch thick by probably, what do they look like, 8-10 inch wide. So the thought was at some point we're going to use these as flats to armor the trail. Some of this is this stack. That's a stack. Those are oak boards for a bookcase for my son when he gets around to building that, but they might get repurposed. We got plenty of other ash trees to cut when he's ready to build that. Yeah, so keep in mind where we might use these 1 inch by 8 or 10 inch cedar boards on the trail.